you recognized a theme song from a TV show when you were a kid?
Me all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you know, something like, you know, we grew up with the Mario Brothers and Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, those things are so noticeable.
They're engraved in us, you know.
Exactly.
Part of our history. Yeah.
And if you want a film or a project or something that has longevity, you want to have something that is going to be something that is original, that people will recognize, you know, in the future. Not just the characters, not just the construction, the gameplay, the flow. I mean, of course I'm talking about all kinds of different things, but the music is a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about percentage, as far as what, you know, what the soundtracker deserves, I really couldn't put a percentage on it, because it's always going to depend on, like you said, if it's going to be electronic, something that's simple to make, or if it's going to be something that needs to be epic and powerful and needs that full-on, you know, 70-piece orchestra feel with band and timpani drums and that sort of thing. So, you know, the Philharmonic obviously is going to require some kind of huge budget, and then, of course, you know, using Logic Pro or Pro Tools or something and taking sounds and loops that you can get, you know, out there is going to be a different story. However, it's like the same thing. I can almost compare it to an event production. We're talking about sound and film and how that's important. I can say, well, entertainment for an event is very important, because similarity, you know, and I tell this to some of my wedding clients, is, you know, you're going to spend, and this is just an arbitrary number, but this was done in a magazine, that, you know, 5% of your budget is going to be spent on entertainment. But the thing that your audience is going to remember the most out of it is going to be the entertainment. That's
a very good point.
Almost like 38%, and that's out of like 20 different factors, between catering, between event venue, between your gown, and all these other things. So the music, you know, obviously, and that's music.
Yeah.
And that usually is music in some form or the other. So when it comes to a film, you know, the composers are really good. The really good composers are good at inserting music that almost subconsciously helps out your project, and people might not even know it.
That's a great point.
That is something that is very important. It's whatever it comes down to budget-wise, you want to find somebody who can insert music into something that is just this great foundation. Because that's essentially what it's doing, is you're putting it underneath something. Obviously, if you're producing a song that's meant to be listened to, then obviously that's a different story, because you're making the song its own entity. But if you're soundtracking, then your job is to come in almost like a super sleuth and add this bedding, this foundation underneath the visual aspect that's going up on the screen. And, you know, it might be something that, you know, it's always nice whenever you come out from a movie or you get done playing a video game and you kind of start you start humming to yourself the music, but you didn't realize that it was getting put in there. But again,
I love that.
Part of that that's part of the brand recognition.
Okay. Well, look, we kind of run out of time.
Oh, sorry.
But before we go, though, if you would like to tell them a little bit about what you're working on and how they can get in contact, or, you know, be able to see what it is that you're doing, Mr. Espeut.
Sure. Well, currently, right now, we've got our first feature-length documentary called Grease Paint. It is a feature-length documentary where we followed Mr. Joey Thurman and his family on the road, traveling around as a clown circus. Of course, it involves all the trials and tribulations that they've gone through on the road, basically spending all of his former police pension that he had accumulated when he was on the police force for 15 years. They'd spent all of that, as well as their life savings, as well as credit cards, and basically heading out on the road in the red with absolutely no way to get back. And I don't want to, let me start that over. If they did not get paid for 1 day worth of work, they would have to sell a truck to come home.
Wow,
that is how much they said they were going to put everything into it, and just went on and said, this is what we want to do. We believe in ourselves. So we follow that, and at the same time, what we're seeing is our underlying goal for this was to really humanize the clown.
Okay.
The clown, a character that, you know, as kids maybe we liked them, maybe we were scared of them, but we start to explore that. We explore why is it that someone so supposedly that's so lovable, and of course in other countries are so revered. Why are some people scared of them? So we actually asked a lot of Hall of Famer clowns and circus people, and we're splicing those interviews into Joey's journeys. So we basically see this really, really awesome narrative.
This documentary is obviously more about, this is not just about clowns, you know, this is not another clown documentary. There's a lot of elements to this, so we're really looking forward to, you know, this project coming out. I think it's going to be a great success, a great hit. They can contact you or see your company information at Espeute.com.
Absolutely, ESPEUTE.com. And of course, we do have a teaser that we just released out on YouTube and Facebook and everything.
Yep.
So you get to get a little glimpse of Joey Thurmond transforming into Mad Dog Joe when he was a wrestler, transforming into Officer Joe Thurmond, and then of course, No Joe the Clown.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Espeute, the owner of Espeute Productions. I'm Ian Watson, and I appreciate you taking the time to see this. So, you guys take care.